This Hangout is live on air. Welcome to the Hangout, everybody. This is, we're hanging out here in Phoenix, Arizona on a cloudy, rainy morning here today. Why don't you tell us where you're hanging out today? Type it in. Let us know where you're hanging out. And John, where are you hanging out from?
A beautiful, gorgeous, sunny, well, not sunny, just kidding, rainy morning in Phoenix. Actually, I really like the weather today. We don't get rain that often, and it's beautiful, it's refreshing, and it's a nice change in the desert. So welcome to Newopday Hangout, where we dive into the fundamentals of network marketing. We discuss the book, Own Your Life Plan, which should be right here on my desk, but this morning flew by, and I realized about 2 minutes ago that it was just about hang time. So I'm going to toss it back over to you so I can find my notebook and my book.
Hang time. All right. Yeah. So I'm Paul Romero. This is John Leister, and this is Newopday, December 14th, 2015. Only 11 days till Christmas. And did you know that after you take out all the time that you spend sleeping and all the time that you spend working and all the time that you spend commuting to work and all the time that you spend running around doing all the things that you have to do day in and day out, that at the end of the day, you have but 1, maybe 2 hours to yourself. And even if you did have more time, would you have any money to do those things that you really enjoy to do? And I'm going to take it one step further. Do you even remember? Do you even know what those things are that you actually like to do? Has it been that long? Well, we have found a way for you to own your life by starting a home-based business that is so simple that anyone can do it. And the best part is it does not involve any selling, nor does it take up very little of the very little time that you already have today. So the question is here on December 14th, is when are you going to have time to do some Christmas shopping? And do you really have money to be spending on all that stuff? There's a saying that this time of year really gets exploited, I think. It's one you've probably already heard, you've all heard, maybe even said yourself many a times. And it says that, it is better to give than to receive. Well, the reality of that saying, where it really came from, has been manipulated and broken down to help, change the programming of our thinking that it's better to give, that we must give. But the reality of that saying originates from the saying that says that it's better to be in a position to give than to be in a position of having to receive. So would you rather, where would you rather be? Would you rather be right now at this time of year in a position of being able to give, or in a position of needing to receive? That's kind of what it all comes down to. So with that, that's what the Own Your Life Plan, the 45-second presentation, is really telling you that it can do for you. So with that, we're going to get into the network marketing training manual, the Own Your Life 45-second presentation. Today, we are starting in on chapter 3. John, you totally missed chapter 2. I went right through it with the 2 times 2 is 4, and had some pretty good presentations there. So today we're starting in on the salesman syndrome. So do you have a little something you'd like to get us started off with on this, John? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it's unfortunate that I missed chapter 2 last week, because that's actually one of my favorite chapters. Just to give a 10-second recap, what that chapter shows is just the power of duplication and how important it is to work with 5 people and teach them how to work with 5 people, so forth and so on, and how you don't overextend yourself and feel like you have to go out there. And that's what chapter 3 gets into, and go show this program and sell Swiss Go Global on hundreds of people and constantly going out there and recruiting new people. What this chapter is basically going to break down for us is kind of the take a step back, don't fall into the salesman syndrome, the salesman trap, and go out there and run and just recruit a whole bunch of people. There's actually some methodology here to doing this business. And I really like chapter 3 because some of the best people that you're going to find out there to become onto your organization, a lot of people who get into network marketing come from a sales background. And as we talked about from chapter 1 in the introduction of this book, how many people don't understand network marketing that are in network marketing? About 95% of them. And I'd say a lot of people coming on board think that this is an easy thing, that all they got to do is sell, sell, sell. This chapter kind of explains how that is actually the wrong type of mindset to have when creating a successful network marketing organization.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start it off by sort of recapping the last two paragraphs, or the last two little sections of chapter 2, where it sort of starts to lead into this chapter. And he talks about you've got two things here called the critical front line and the commit to no more than 5, the last two segments of chapter 2. And in the critical front line, he's talking about how, he's shown other people in network marketing how fast that they have come into a new organization with people that have already been there for a long, long time, and how they just blow right past them as far as, how successful they are in the organization. And when they ask, what is it that you're doing that we're not? Basically, his response to them is, how many people do you have in your front line that you're working with? And typically, they're going to hear answers anywhere. You hear answers on that of anywhere between 25 and 50. And sometimes, you might even hear people that say, they got 100 people in their front line that they're working with. And so he goes into the next section here about, committing to no more than 5. And I like this because, it kind of shows, as we talk about, everything is network marketing, even the military. It talks about how, consider the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines, and the Coast Guard. From the lowest private up to the top brass, nobody has no more than 5 or 6 people that they are directly supervising. There may be rare exceptions, but think about it. Here we have the military organizations with hundreds of years of experience, and they don't think anybody should be supervising more than 5 or 6 people. So there you have it. I just want to point that out there before we run into this, talking about why the salesman syndrome and the whole idea of having to run out and, sell the world is the improper way to build a giant, successful, and profitable, hugely profitable network marketing organization.
Yeah, I want to throw in a comment there on that. That's such an important concept. Just consider, you're coming in fresh to this business, and there may be people you're coming in alongside or, came in under, or that's part of, your organization as a whole, that may have a front line of, like Paul said, 25, 30 people. And on the surface, that might sound like they're doing really, really good. But I know from doing network marketing, this is my own kind of realization, is that until you find 5 and really work with those 5 people and show them what this business is about, there's no possible way you could successfully commit to that many people without overwhelming yourself. Plus, when you're coming, maybe you could develop into someone that can handle a higher volume of training. But when you're getting started in this business, we want to keep it real simple. And that's where the idea of 5 comes in. And if you come into this business and really just learn these concepts and come out the gate doing the right thing, you will pass people who've been into network marketing for a long time because they learned wrong and they're not doing it right. And actually, I will say, working with people who are kind of a clean slate that have the motivation and inspiration to do this sometimes is more preferable to me than working with a guy that I've been in network marketing for years. Why are you joining my organization if you're a master and you've been with a company for 5 years? Chances are he learned the wrong way, and they're more difficult to work with because you're breaking old habits. Just want to point that out, but that leads us right into what I said there, is committing to no more than 5 people. And the reason being is you want to be able to effectively train and work with those people, give them the attention they deserve. And that is the basis of this system, keeping it simple and manageable for yourself.
Yes, that is awesome. And here's the cool part. This book right here, we talked about it being the training manual, and I didn't train in advance, so I'm going to cheat. And guess what? It's okay.
That's a little, that's another network marketing gold nugget, is it's okay to cheat. It's okay to refer back to the training manual at any point. And when you're talking to your prospects, it's also more than okay to admit when you don't know an answer. It's a perfect opportunity for you to introduce a person to someone in your upline when you don't know the answer. Say, great, I know someone that can answer that for you. Simple little nugget of wisdom. So I'm going to toss it back over to Paul because my throat is scratchy as hell, and let him get into this chapter.
So yeah, I'm actually just going to read right out of the book here for the first couple of paragraphs. It says, over the years, we've noticed that some experienced salespeople can have a difficult time making the transition to network marketing. And this is the issue that we address here in napkin presentation number 2. And it's not only just to, this is not only just to turn the, experienced salespeople's mindset around into thinking the right way, but it's also designed to keep those who have no idea here about them looking at it from that similar mindset as well too. So when we put together a network marketing organization, it's better to sponsor 10 good teachers than 10 good salespeople. Of course, sales professionals can be a tremendous asset to your organization if, like everyone else, they go through the 10 napkin presentations and thoroughly understand them. Okay, he says that most people get confused by that statement above. Remember, they still don't understand that network marketing is a method of marketing. We are not sponsoring people into a direct sales organization. We are sponsoring them into a network marketing program. That to me is the big key right there. We are not sponsoring people into a direct sales organization. We are sponsoring people into a network marketing organization. Huge, huge, huge. Did I say huge difference?
It is a huge difference. Paul, I only got about a quarter of what you said because I had a coughing fit. I muted my speakers and everything on that one. Why don't you just continue here? I have nothing to add in at this point. I apologize.
No problem. Except for I'm going to join you on the other side of the spectrum with a nice little. No, it's not going to do it. Hey, fuck you! One of those. I might take off the glasses because they would have went flying across the room on that one. Okay, so much of the time, the problem that you will have with a salesperson is that when they see the high quality of the products you represent, they want to take off and just start selling. They can put their own presentation together. They don't need us to tell them how to sell. They are the professionals. The point is, we don't want to tell them how to sell. However, we do want to teach them how to sponsor, teach, and build a large, successful network marketing organization. Sales professionals, and anyone for that matter, can do just that without selling anything in the normal sense and definition of the word selling. That's the big ticket right there. Gosh, my nose is going crazy this morning.
You know what? That is a great point. And I can tell you, what's one way to work with and I think treat and deal with the salesperson type of mindset is tell them, maybe agree with them. You know what? That's great. You know what? I'm glad you're in my downline. And there's a lot you need to learn. Yes, I understand you're a great salesman. And you know what? I'm not here to teach you how to sell. What I want to show you how to do is to sponsor people, because that's going to be the difference between success and failure. And just to kind of continue on, like right from the book where Paul left off with that last one is what was referring to anything to do without selling anything in the normal sense. Yeah, sales professionals, you want to harness their energy. You want to harness their ability and their drive to go out, but you kind of want to rein them in, basically, to just get them to slow down and understand the concept of sponsoring. And it kind of continues to say, if you don't take the time to sit down with them and explain the few simple things about network marketing and why it's different than direct selling, direct sales versus network marketing. We cover this a lot in just the intro alone to make these distinctions. And, if you don't explain the differences between the two, you're going to send them off in the wrong direction. We have, sorry, and that brings us into, showing them what napkin presentation actually is. This is where you make the sales syndrome presentation to someone with that type of mindset and personality.
And I'm going to throw up two little cards here. These are not the exact, he goes into, just by saying that, if you don't take the time to sit down with them and explain a few simple things about network marketing and why it is different than direct selling, then the tendency is for them to go off in the wrong direction. As we continue on with the napkin presentations, we'll give you a few examples, but right now we'll turn to napkin presentation number 2 that explains the salespeople failure syndrome. Okay, two quick little, really fast, because we're just about out of time here, but I don't know if we're going to get deep into this just yet, but kind of just a real quick view of where this salesman failure syndrome napkin presentation is going to take us. Okay, basically, most people look at this, right? They think if you sponsor somebody into the organization, right, then you have duplicated yourself, and that it's okay for you to move on. But when you move on and you brought Sue into the organization, what is Sue going to do? Sue doesn't know anything. It's very, very similar to our wholesale real estate program that we talk about here on our next hangout coming up, in where we see that the wholesale real estate business is not for everyone, and the network marketing business is not for everyone. But the key element that people don't get in educational programs in wholesale real estate is the whole part about how they themselves have to be the type of person who can deal with other people in a successful manner. And when people realize that that's the problem, they pay a lot of money for a lot of education, but then they realize that that's like the core element, and they come to understand that that's not their personality. Then they realize that, okay, well, this is not for me, and they're out of the deal, but they spent a lot of money. And this is kind of the same situation here. You bring somebody in, they spend their money to get sponsored into the organization, and then you move on to your next person. What are they supposed to do? How are they supposed to know? How are they supposed to be successful? And so this just kind of shows it a little bit further here, where you sponsor in Sue, and you start teaching Sue how to sponsor. And so she sponsors in Tom, and then she leaves Tom alone, and she heads over here and sponsors in Joe, and then she leaves Joe alone. She heads over here and sponsors in Ed, and then she heads over here and sponsors in Jill. And like Tom's sitting here going, okay, Sue, I'm here. What do I do? And that's kind of where this whole chapter, just kind of in a quick nutshell, is really going to drive that point home of the importance of sticking around for Tom's sake.
Do me a favor. Hold up your last index card that you just showed.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Just wanted you to show that one more time. It's about you teaching Sue how to find Tom, so forth. And then, as Paul said, the chapter's leading us to now what's next, because now Sue knows how to find Tom, Joe, Ed, and Jill. But what next for Tom, Joe, Ed, and Jill? That's where this chapter leads us to. There's one more element to that napkin presentation. I don't know if Paul's going to get into it or not, or if we're prefacing that for tomorrow, but I see it's 8:20. So why don't you continue, Paul?
Yeah, like I said, I knew we were going to be kind of short on time here, so I didn't want to get too far into going any deeper into the actual presentation. That is the napkin presentation. We can start on that next session. So I just wanted to give the preface of, kind of how and where the core, the key point is that we're trying to deliver and help our sponsor, our potentially our salesman sponsor, or like I said, those people who think that this is all about a direct marketing situation. Their mindset, I mean, you got to figure that their mindset going in is the whole idea that I'm going to have to go sell the world. So this napkin presentation is not just for converting and reining in your potential, your salesman superstars into understanding how network marketing works, but it's also designed to prevent those who start to think that direction from going there.
Absolutely. I think that's great. So with that, I see that we're almost out of time. And unless Paul has any other comments, I'm going to go ahead, and I see that you froze. Are you still there, Paul? Yep, he's still there. You had froze up a second. I'm going to end this as we always do with the Napoleon Hill prayer, which goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire." So with that, we're really excited to have completed another Newopday hangout, talking about how to own your life and the system that'll kind of get you there. Again, I love this book because it applies not only to network marketing, but to really every business. As we joked about on Friday with the Fire Marshal Bill impression, everything is network marketing. It really, really is. This is a very important tool. So why don't you join us here on website Wisdom Wednesday, and we'll show you a little bit specifically about our vehicle, our product, which is Swiss Gold Global. So have a great day. We'll see you on Wisdom Website Wednesday.